Hello guys and welcome to another Injustice 2 mobile live stream. Guys, I know it's been a while since I've done a live stream, so I know I said 2200 hours. I'm a bit behind schedule. I was just updating everything to get the stream ready. How's everyone doing, guys? Houdini, good to see you. Rishi, Epic Ninja Dudes, it's all good to have you guys here. Guys, keep it clean in the chat. Okay, right, today the live stream is a Q&A about raids. Now guys, Evil One is gonna do a tier 5 raid, so hopefully there are as many of the Evil One members on here as possible. Yeah, Epic, if you could kindly I think I've got you as a moderator. Could you just make sure the chat is nice and clean? That would be awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Hopefully, guys, the sound is very good. I have been uploading videos, so hopefully you can hear me clearly. So, guys, I'm not just going to be talking. I'm actually going to be showing you evidence of gameplay, evidence of damage that can be used. Much appreciate Epic for doing that for me. Right, okay, I know a couple of the Evil One members may not be online right now, but they can always check this video out. So this video is how we're going to tackle T5. Now guys, I'm going to kick things off by just quickly reading our plan. We've got to have a plan for tier 5, and that plan is, let me just bring it up quickly. Now, hold on. Okay guys, hopefully you can see the plan. Okay, so progress plan Evil One. So let me just read it through quickly. What we are going to achieve before tier 5. So everyone in Evil One needs to have a roster of at least 1 million. We're pretty close on that. Getting at least 45 million total league value in threat. Well, we're not far from that. I mean, ideally, 43 was a magic number. But yeah, we're just under that, but we're going to do the tier 5 anyway. 30 active members. Now, guys, we now have 30 active members. So how are we going to prepare for tier 5? Well, first thing, we will have 2 monthly challenges. A, we will DM everyone individually and talk about your roster and make 9 teams for each battle you're going to play. B, the challenge will tell you what threats you need to get the hero depending on I, the other heroes in your team, and secondly, the damage you need to do with the team. So the number C is everyone needs to complete the challenge within the time, and so we will have everyone ready one at a time. Okay, and the third thing, how we are going to fight tier 5. Now this is essential, guys. We have a spreadsheet. Now this spreadsheet is where all the data is going to be stored. Now we've made a start on this spreadsheet. In the last raids in tier 4, I have updated everything I need to update on page 1. And as I was going through, as we were going through tier 4, I was taking screenshots with my phone of every time someone did damage. So that's how I used one of the tools I used to fill out page 3. Now page 3 shows each member's name, Obviously, I don't know which characters they used, but I do know what battles and what bosses they fought. So I would put down the damage they dealt. So that's what page 3 is all about on the spreadsheet. So that spreadsheet is key to our success as well. So going back to that point 1, yeah, so that spreadsheet is thanks to a member called Doom Llama, who was one of the former members of Evil but has now moved on. But the work that he put into that spreadsheet I'm now using, and he's happy for me to do that. Thumbs up and fist bump to Doom Llama for doing that. So yeah, he made a strategy where there is an estimated amount of damage that needs to be done in an estimated amount of attempts. So yeah, the spreadsheet, you can read that off page 3. When we DM you, we will assign you to an attempt based on what teams you can make. Okay, now this is where Discord is very important. That's why I wanted so many guys on Discord as possible. We can use the in-game chat, but getting everyone on Discord just makes it a lot easier. And also I'm doing this video live stream so that we can be a little bit more prepared on when it comes to doing the tier 5 raid. We're good to go. Right, that's enough of this part. Now guys, let's get back onto the game. I like to do a fist pump to Unknown D for that plan. Hopefully he's okay for me actually displaying that plan for all the Evil One members who are not on Discord but are on the chat, who are going to be checking this video out. So hopefully that was cool with him. He also has put a lot of time and effort in making sure we go for this tier 5 attempt. So guys, we've talked about the plan. Now, the strategy, right, okay. Before I talk about the strategy, I want to talk just quickly about my experience of T5. A number of us have done the T5 in attempts. So tier 5 is a little bit different from tier 4 in that every character that you use, so for example, let's just quickly show that. So for example, if you pick Gorilla Grodd, or we assign you Gorilla Grodd, and we want you to use your Justice League team, we would go, for example, so guys, so if we assign you Gorilla God sub-boss and we say to you, use your Justice League team, this is what I would mean when I say a Justice League team. Mythic Wonder Woman, Justice League Aquaman, a Justice League Cyborg. Okay, this would be the Justice League team. If you don't have Mythic Wonder Woman, you got Justice League The Flash, put him in there. Okay, if you don't have Justice League The Flash, put in Batman. The reason for that is the Justice League team, of the synergy that they have between the three of them, it's the best in the game. It is the best in the game. You know, some will argue against it and they'll have their reasons, but the Justice League team is the best. You see them in arena, guys, and if you don't have a good other Justice League team, you're running. You're running, mate. Regardless. You see a Justice League team in arena, boy, you're going to be missing them like the plague. So, let's give them a try. Let's give my Justice League a try and see how quickly we do here. Okay, just Marksman is doing some blocking there.
Last chance to fall in line.
Okay, so that's the Justice League team. Now guys, that is one team that I want everyone to work on. Every single member in Evil One needs to have a Justice League team. Why do you need a Justice League team? Well, the reason for that is, let me be clear on this guys, the members with the smaller rosters, so specifically, I'll use Knight for example. I have assigned Knight to use his 3 pips, so one after the other, against Gorilla Grodd. Now, what I would want Knight to do is, because the sub bosses are the easier bosses, the members with the smallest rosters will use their best teams, their best teams against the sub bosses. So I'm using Knight as an example. He's not quite reached 1 million in his roster, but he's assigned Gorilla Grodd, and he can use his Justice League team and use 1 pip. Then he does his next pip and his 3rd pip. Now his 2nd battle and his 3rd battle, if I was Knight, I would use the spreadsheet. On page 1, it has all those priority cards, so he could see what threat, what synergy he can use for his 2nd and his 3rd battles. So page 1 of the spreadsheet will be used for you to pick your 3 characters. Their priority. How do we know their priority? So you look on page 1 of your spreadsheet, and you'll have all those priority cards all filled out for you. So the smaller rosters will be assigned the sub bosses, and they will use up all 3 pips day 1 done for them. So for example, if you are towards the higher ends, so if you have like a roster of say 1.8 and above, what do you do then? Well, you guys will again use your priority cards in blue, but they're the weaker ones, the weaker cards that give boosts, for example. So, for example, let me see for a second. Who could I use as an example? Yeah, Sipan, for example. He could attempt Scarecrow, because he did 600k damage against Scarecrow in the last raid. That team that he used in the last tier 4 raid, he can use that against Scarecrow. I truly believe that wasn't his strongest team that he used against Scarecrow. Well, Unknown D, when you see smaller rosters, I would say around that bracket, just under, maybe we got 1 or 2, or just over. All of those members who are just under or just over 1 million will be using their strongest teams in the sub bosses. because that way we know that they've done the maximum damage possible with the pips they've and their pips used. Yeah. So the idea is everyone is to use their 3 pips all in one go. Yeah. We don't want to waste people's pips. Now, going back to what I was saying, the people with the members with the stronger rosters will use their weaker, boosted characters towards the end of their roster to do kind of tickling damage. What I mean by tickling damage, you know, we'll have the boost. I believe Unknown D has another plan on other characters that we can use from our rosters that will give a boost. For example, Ace Green Arrow for phase 4, he will give a boost. Not only is it just a power drain, it gives that boost. Okay, so that's an example of using a character which gives boost. Am I clear on that, guys? For the people who have 1.8 and above, you are to allow the rosters who are smaller to do their 3 pips. So the big hitters, we can call them big hitters. So for example, myself, Ledge, Sheriff, they all 3 or 4 or 5 will not be fighting the sub bosses with their best teams. No way, Jose. We may be doing battles, but it would be with that plan that you have, Unknown D. You know that plan where we can use silver characters who give boosts. Those are the characters we would use for the sub bosses. Is that clear, guys? I think that's pretty clear. Now, after day 1, we must take down all sub bosses. So before we start day 2, all sub bosses must be done. All pips must be used. So every member has 3 pips, 3 battles each. Yeah, so that's 30 times 3. 30 times 3 is 90 battles, guys. And all those characters that you guys have used will be gone. You won't be able to use those characters. So all the weaker rosters would have used all their best cards and used all of their pips, and they would have done their part in the raid. Now, day 2, phase 1. Now here is where we see the big hitters. We'll see, I don't want to kind of say it in a way to make people, you know, inferior or anything like that. I'm just using as terminology, guys. The big hitters on day 2, again, will be assigned characters from those priority, from page 1 in blue, cards to phase 1. So for example, phase 1, I may go for phase 1, or I may be assigned to phase 1. So I would go with Predator Batman. Let's have a battle, guys. I'm sure you don't just want to hear me talk, you want to see the evidence. So I would go for this team here for phase 1. Let me see. Okay, this is my phase 1 team, for example. Guys, let me stop it there, guys. Did you see the damage that I just did with my PB? 300,000 damage. After a 50 hit combo, I got my Justice League The Flash with fast attack. Okay, let me carry on.
I'm the future. You can't fight that. Your mediocrity is killing me. Your weaknesses are plainly evident.
Take your shot. Make it count. Disturb me at your own risk.
Okay guys, we managed to get another 180 damage on the ability 3. Okay, so I've talked about the sub-bosses, I've talked about day 2 and how members will be assigned to day 2. Epic Ninja Dude, I will show you a little bit later, dude. Super K33, my Justice League team is Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and who's the other one? Cyborg. That's my Justice League team. Okay, I don't want to go off topic here. Right, I want to talk about, guys, what other things we are expecting in Tier 5. We've got a new subscriber, Mr. San Glitcher. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, let's bring that up quickly. Why is it not coming up? Hold on, guys. Okay, so guys, Tier 5. The health of each sub-boss increases. It's going to be 3.29 million. So 3.29 million times 4. Obviously, we got Gorilla Grodd, Captain Cold, Horrific Scarecrow, and Dr. Fate. In our last Tier 5 attempt, we did 10 million damage. So when we last did Tier 5 attempt, we did 10 million damage and we needed to do 13 to take out all 4 bosses. So guys, it is key that on this attempt, we need to improve on that. That is the target. Take down all 4 sub-bosses after day 1. Now, day 2, in our last attempt, we did 6.5 damage. Again, day 2, we need to take out phase 1 and phase 2. And make a really good start on phase 3. I mean, when I say a really good start, I mean we're looking at half of phase 3 done before we go to the last day. It's going to be tight, guys, I know that, but we can do it. We can do it with a little bit of strategy, a little bit of planning. So, yeah, day 3, we did 4.2 damage last time. So we need to do a little bit more to get it all done. So that was a little bit about what else to expect in Tier 5. Right, We've talked about the plan. We've talked about what to expect in Tier 5. We've talked about getting your Justice League teams leveled up, ranked up, and so forth. We've talked about how rosters of 1 million above and below will be using their free pips, their strongest teams with the sub-bosses, and the higher end will wait. Higher end, anyone from 1.8 and above, will be waiting for those lower end rostered members to do their free pips on all their sub-bosses. Now those sub-bosses will be assigned. So for example, we know about Knight, he'll be doing Gorilla Grodd with his free pips. Another member has also been assigned, I think it's Singer Dawn. He's going to be doing Dr. Fate and be using his free pips for Singer Dawn. I haven't quite got around to getting the members to assign the sub-bosses, but we'll get that done as soon as possible. Now guys, phase 3, I need, well, like we did last time in Tier 4, I managed to get all the people who had John Stewart Green Lantern to take part in phase 3. Again, will happen in Tier 5. All of those members who have John Stewart Green Lantern, AAA, and Dr. Fate, they will use that pip in phase 3. So this will be possible day 2, day 3 of the raids. So let's see that in action, guys. Okay, so guys, the people who are assigned for phase 3 Brainiac will need to use this team: John Stewart Green Lantern, Dr. Fate, and Aquaman. I know that some members may have Arkham Knight Batman. You can use Aquaman to give you the boost on your ability too for Aquaman. So yes, you can also do that as well. So let's give this team a try out. So this is how I would play phase 3 of Brainiac. So obviously Marksman Deadshot is not Brainiac, but I would go all the way to the left with John Stewart Green Lantern, and I would position myself in that corner for the 3 minutes. Now this is for phase 3, guys, against Brainiac. Yeah, a couple of more hits and we're backing off. We're backing off. We'll tag in Dr. Fate and we're backing off. Now the reason why we're backing off is because we want to get the 25% boosts from Aquaman's super move, guys. So another thing that I recommend is getting the super move off as early as you possibly can. It will give you 25% boost in damage in the rest of the battle. So again, every time you do your super move, it takes you to the middle of the game. So you need to go all the way up to the left and position yourself there. And hopefully Brainiac is going to be a fool and he's going to join you. Now, this is where the fun begins, guys. So obviously we keep moving to the left.
You're drowning.
Okay, guys, there's a couple of visitors. Flashtastic, what's going on, brother? Godslave 777, dude. I love your content. Good to have you here as well. Super K33. Good to have you on the stream as well, guys. You are right, Super K33, about the health. But not everyone can get away with having AAA at low health. But yeah, he is a working card. Okay, guys, so we've talked about phase 1, phase 3. Let's look at phase 4. Now, guys, when you are assigned phase 4, the key here is where I think everyone has to have Dr. Fate. Why do you say that? Well, Dr. Fate makes your power draining happen more often. So for example, let's give that a try. So if I assign, for example, Sheriff to do phase 4, I would expect him to use Ace Green Arrow, Dr. Fate, and who is, Bane, I think it was Bane. Was it Bane? Let's have a look. I would use Bane. No, not this Bane, the other Bane. Yeah, let's have a look. I'm just trying to work something out here. If I've used up these characters here. Alright, we'll go with this team here. Guys, 12,000 damage with Ace Green Arrow. How did I get the 12,000 damage? Well, I'll tell you guys. With Bane, he gives me the extra 25% critical attack chance. I've got my Ace Green Arrow at between 50 to 55% critical attack chance. I add Bane, he gives me the maximum critical attack chance at 75. So another tip for Evil One members. If you feel that you're not doing enough damage with a particular card, add Bane to that particular card and it will max out your critical attack chance. That will make a huge difference when you do damage in raids. So the benefit of having Bane is he'll give you 25% or possibly 20% to your critical attack chance in battles. So let's get back.
Giving me ideas for new arrows. Regret not taking me seriously? Giving me ideas for new arrows. Seems only sporting I give you a chance.
Guys, did you see that? 25,000 after a little bit of a combo.
This mountain is not moving.
One thing that I did say to do was to get the super move out nice and early. To get the extra 25%. You see the super boost there, guys? You can see the icon on the left hand side. Ace Green Arrow has the 25% super boost.
Regret not taking me seriously?
The Ark protects me.
Okay, so we've talked about a nice trio of characters for phase 4. Right. I'm just wondering, guys, if there's any other questions from the Evil One members who may be on the stream. I'll take those questions now, guys, because I'm looking to end the stream very, very soon. I'm just trying to think of another team that we have in the priority list of blue cards from the spreadsheets. Let's have a look. DRC, can you test Multiverse Green Arrow Special 1? Yeah, sure.
Green Arrow.
What's that all about? Okay. So let's have a look then. Just want to check something.
Green Arrow.
Okay. 45. Actually, let me just quickly.
Green Arrow.
Yeah, so guys, this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. You see, his critical chance is 56%. If I add Bane, he gives me 25. So it gives me 60, 70, 80% critical attack chance, which is well over the amount that I need. But with Multiverse 25, hold on. That's let's see, 50, 60, 70. Okay, he's only going to give me 70%. I may need to add, yeah, the only problem is I could add Multiverse here.
The Flash.
Yeah, I could add Multiverse, and we could do it like this. So, for example, if you've used Dr. Fate earlier on, let's give this team a try. The only thing I would say is it's another possible team that you could use for phase 4. If you've already used Dr. Fate, oh, you know what? I've made the mistake, haven't I? I've not put in Multiverse Green Arrow. Well, let's just do this battle here.
Giving me ideas for
I am getting the boosts with critical attack damage.
Seems only sporting I give you a chance.
Whoa, 44,000 guys.
Strike for strike.
We're going to lose Ace Green Arrow. Okay. Obviously, I'd be dead by now. But obviously, I'm just looking at the damage.
Your mediocrity is killing me.
Okay, so guys, that wasn't a great example, but the whole point here was I didn't start off the battle with Multiverse Green Arrow. Let's just do that battle again, but with Multiverse Green Arrow. Where is he? There he is. All right, let's do that battle.
Your mediocrity is killing me.
The green is power. Bullet to the brain ends this.
Yeah, so guys, as you can see, they're not my strongest characters. I just showed that team because Godslave wanted to see my ability 1. I wasn't sort of concentrating too much. I just wanted to show him my Multiverse Green Arrow as ability 1. Okay guys, that is pretty much it for the stream. Most of the most important things have been addressed. The only thing that I need to do with my Evil One League is to assign which members to do which bosses, and my preference of cards. Well, I say my preference, I say the preference from the spreadsheet, those priority cards. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for those new subscribers. And yeah, have a lovely time and do what you got to do. What's that, Anandi? Good idea to assign. Yeah, I have a good idea on which members will be assigned to what bosses. I mean, we have an idea now of how we're going to proceed with tier 5. So guys, that's DRC Views. Gonna leave you now, and yeah, catch you in the next one guys. Bye for now.